Hi there, and welcome to another explainer video, and this one is a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to training on this one for a while. It's a feature that is becoming more and more heavily used, and essentially what it is bots. Bots are a big buzzword on the internet right now, and honestly, they can save a lot of time and effort when dealing with sales or dealing with support. So for today, I'm going to show you bots inside of Zoho Sales IQ, and it'll be mostly for the sales aspect, not so much for the support, but I'll show you how it could be support if you wanted it to be. So the application I'm going to show you all of this in is called Zoho Sales IQ. For those of you that don't know, this is an online website tracking tool. It also has live chat, like with humans, or what I'll show you today, it also has live chat, chat with a bot. All of this is really neat because it can then be synced into your CRM, into your desk, all kinds of applications like that. So when you go into Sales IQ, in order to set up a bot, you're going to hit the settings icon in the top right. You'll see some settings here. This is actually our Sales IQ account, like BluRoot's. You'll see some settings here that you don't really need to worry about, except for this one, Zobot. So when I'm back here, you can see we've had bots for a few years, and some of them have had a lot of initiations, but until recently, you had to build these bots through code. That has changed. You no longer have to, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add. Now, all this stuff might look scary or whatever, but essentially what it's telling you here is you can integrate your bots with third-party services like Watson AI and Zia, which is Zoho's AI. But for today, I'm just going to look at the codeless bot builder. So I'm going to call this Hello YouTube Bot. Okay. So you can describe your bot, helps visitors on YouTube. And then this part here, this is in other videos that we have about Sales IQ, but setting up a website, so we have two websites, that's what it means by brands here. So for this example, I'm going to put it on our professional service website, which is BluRoot. So keep in mind here that this bot can be on one of many sites, right? This part here is interesting, and you should know about it, but basically you can, like some people only want their bots to turn on when humans aren't there. Right? And others want it during standard business hours. That's completely up to you, but it's a handy feature, and like I said, it's quite popular to do non-business hours. So now it brings you through kind of a step-by-step process on actually building out the bot. So this first step is who gets the bot? Do you want everyone who lands on the site? Or do you only want custom visitors? And so if you choose custom visitors, you can actually add rules. You could say, well, if they Googled us, or if they YouTubed us, or if they're on Chrome. I don't know why someone would do that, but that might be something that your team would use. So there's all kinds of options here that you can do. You can also pull data from the CRM. That'll probably be in a separate, more advanced explanation, but probably the most common one is this one. For example, you may say you want a bot to show up if they go to your support page or your contact us page, and any other page you don't want a bot to show up. So that's what this one would be used for, and literally if you choose this, you literally just copy paste the URL, or you say begins with if you have many URLs that you want to capture at one time, or contains. So for this example, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to say all visitors that land. Then you can say, okay, when they land, when do you want it to pop up? So I'll go ahead here and say after 6 seconds, you can do 1 minute. You can type whatever you want custom. You can also say, okay, well, only when they initiate with us. So when they click the little chat icon, then bring up the bot. So many options here. This one, it basically says what it wants to do. Like basically, you can tell the bot to slow down so it looks like a human is typing if you want. Most people don't really care about that in my experience. You can speed it up, you can have it immediately answer, or you can slow it down. These here you can turn on when when a bot actually pops up. You can end the conversation after a certain amount of time if no one's answering. And you can also send the first message like, is there anything else I want to help you with? And then you can do another one. So you can basically train your bot to like try to keep the conversation going if someone's not answering anymore. Like, because they have the option to minimize the bot, right? And it'll just float in the bottom right-hand corner of your website. And then this last one that's very important, I think everyone should keep this on, is, now if it's an after hours bot, maybe not, but the ability to pass it off to a human is really important. Oftentimes these bots, and you'll see in a minute, when you build these bots, they're not perfect. They're not going to think of everything. So the ability to pass off to a human is really important. So now I hit create. Now the fun part. Now I'm not going to go too detailed in this video. I just want to create a very simple bot. I'm probably going to have supplemental videos on more advanced ones. But you can see here, so the bot starts. One really awesome thing with this bot builder is in the bottom right, you can actually try it. So if you hit this little eyeball, you'll see this is what it looks like, right? And so what I typically do, I take out this one, and this plus icon allows you to start building options. So let's pretend in this video, for this bot, we want someone to land on our page and we want to help them with our pricing, with our how-to videos, and maybe with a contact us. So like, think of frequently asked things that your clients ask for. So typically at this point, I start off by building it like this. I'll hit the plus, and now I typically do some buttons. So the buttons allow you to actually, or your end user to click something and then be able to move based on what they click. So I'll say this. Options, and we'll say, hey there, what can I help you with today? So you can see here are some examples: chat with support, chat with sales, and maybe we'll just say like learn about pricing. So now when you hit save and we hit this preview, you can now see what that looks like. Hey there, what can I help you with today? And it gives 3 options. So if they click chat with support, you can see here that we can actually redirect them to a certain thing. So for the chat with support, we can go ahead and click here. And for example, you could put a calendar here, or you could give them multiple options to fill out. And so if I choose the options here, then I'll say support options. What type of support are you looking for? And then like billing support, technical support, and I'll take this one out. So what you can see here is we're kind of trimming down the options, and we're going to give the operators a lot of help when they actually get to it, right? So now we'll hit save. So again, if we preview this bot, chat with support, oops. See, and that just caught me there where I should have put this over here. So that's a good catch. There we go. Chat with support. So now when I hit the little I here, restart it. Chat with support. You see it's thinking. We told it to wait 2 seconds. Remember earlier on. You hit billing. Confirm, and now we haven't programmed it beyond that. So you can see how neat this can be. And so now, just to finish off the support train here, we can do a few other things. So once we hit chat with support, now we can do a couple things. One, we could put up a calendar where they actually choose a date and time to book that event. Or we can get a bit more advanced and we can send an email to someone. But I think what we'll do for now is ask for their email and their name. So we'll say name. Right. And then we can also ask for their email. Now, one thing I just want to talk about here is this. So this is something we're not going to cover a ton today, but basically, if this visitor has been to your site many times, you probably have their name. They're probably in the CRM, all that stuff. So it can pre-fill. You can see here when I type this, you can see it brings all kinds of stuff, their name, their ID, their phone, their country, their city, if it has it, right? So you can pre-fill things into this. We're not going to talk about that too much today, but you can explore it on your own. And then lastly, what I think we're going to do here is we're actually going to forward it. And so now, what I'm doing here is I'm actually forwarding this chat over to a human. So we're not going to allow the visitor to choose a department, but since they chose a certain department in your case, then we can actually hit, and you can actually tell it, well, for support, we always want to send it to Tom because he's our master of support, right? And so you can see here that it has a few other options here to actually forward to someone. So offline, who does it go to? And again, you can do something where probably in that case, you would just send an email. Online, operator's not available, which means they're basically already engaged in chats. Like each operator can have a status, just like most apps these days. And then the last one is invalid. So where will it go if it can't find anywhere else? And so this is something you can customize on your own. But the idea here, and if I show you that whole path, chat with support, billing, please give us your name. Please give us your email. And then we didn't fix it from there, but then we could tell it to actually go to someone, right? And so this is pretty much a very advanced bot, I would say. Back in the day, you would have to do this through code. It would take a lot of time and effort. And what I would encourage everyone to do on their own time is to actually build out these other flows. So before I leave you, I just want to talk about a few more of these things. I'll show you the calendar because some of you might like this. Single or date range. You can choose date and time or just date. And this is what it would look like. You got to restart it. So it looks like that. Really neat. And then, again, now you have to be in charge of what happens after that. You're probably just going to send an email to someone, right? Now you can get advanced with plugins and actually integrate it with your Google Cal and all of that. We're not going to go through that today. But this is, if you learn these fundamentals of building a bot, you can build a bot for any website and basically have it running. Thank you for watching. I'm going to have a lot more YouTube videos coming out soon. We kind of had a hiatus there, but we're going to be pumping out the content. Have a good one.